Hello!
Hello.
Today is day 6 of the Linux Upskill challenge. We got to the second week,
Hey, look at us.
so it's time to get a little more complicated. Today we're going to talk about VI or Vim. That means VI improved. You can remember that we closed last week talking a little bit about Nano, a text editor. Is much more like a DOS text editor would look like, but now with VI we're going to dive into the Unix world and in completely different way to see text editing. VI is a staple for Unix and Linux systems. You're going to find it in all of them. That is one reason why you should learn this. But it's not easy. I'm giving you a disclaimer, this is not easy. What the hell is this? There are a lot of resources, there are a lot of different features that you can use, and it's very powerful. But to get to that power, you will have some time to understand how it works. Really, to start doing configuration files editing, it's not really required that you have an expert knowledge of VI. First thing, if you want to know if you have a VI or which version you have, VI version. The version that we have is VI Improved 8.1. I can create a file, VI, and a file name. We have a new file. I'm going to get out of this file without saving. I'm going to use column Q as in quit. No file name was saved here, so it was really a draft. Now we can open a file with VI services. 417 lines. We have opened the file services. If I change anything and then I want to save, I can use again column W for write. It's saying that it's written. But I want to change the name of the file. I want to save as column W space. I want to give it a different name, so it's my file. My file. It's a new file. Save and exit. I use W for write, Q for quit, and then I'm out. As you can see, I saved a new file, my file, into my folder. Now let's do some navigation on that. My file. This is the point when the people that already know how to use VI start to confuse the ones that don't. We don't need to do this. With VI Improved, with Vim, I can use the arrow keys to navigate between the lines, right to the left, up and down. But Classic VI is going to say that you have to use L key to go to the right, H to go to the left, K to go up, J to go down. These navigation shortcuts, they were created in a different era when the arrow keys didn't even exist. They are a good way to navigate. There's no problem with this. If you're getting to the Linux and Unix world and you are used to work with arrow keys, page up and page down, home and end of the line, it is not going to be that easy to transport that knowledge to the shortcuts that I have. Keep that in mind. You can still use the same way that you use in any other text editor. The big difference here is that you're going to be keyboard only. We're not going to use the mouse. If you're just getting into VI, focus on getting the basics to edit a file. But there's a couple of tricks that you already learned using less. That is, if you want to go to the end of the file, you can use uppercase G. You see, I'm on the line 417. Here saying I'm at the bottom of the file. And if I want to go to the top of the file or the beginning of the file, I can use lowercase g, G. There's two G's, not just one, two G's, GG, and then we're at the top of the file. Now let's learn to use the mode. What we're using so far, and I'm not doing anything, I'm just navigating. I'm doing this on the normal mode. If I try to write anything, it's not going to work because I'm not in insert mode. To get into the insert mode, you can just type I as an insert, and you're going to see here at the bottom of your screen that it gets into the insert mode, or can use the key insert. To get back to the normal mode, use ask. So in insert mode I can type whatever I want, but that's it. I'm just going to be typing away in this mode. Insert is to insert new data. So you're going to be bouncing back normal and insert mode most of your time. The third mode that you need to know is the visual mode. Visual mode you can get into using the letter V, and now I'm in the visual mode. It immediately highlights the line that I'm into. The idea here is to select portions of your text to do some editing. You can copy, paste, replace, and there's the command mode that you already see me using, that we get into with the column. And now I can do commands with this file. The commands that we already use it are for write and quit. I can set the numbers, no number. I can change whatever setting I want. I can use the command line directly inside VI. So the command mode is really versatile. You can do a lot of things with it. And now we're going to do some editing. So let's start with cut or delete. I could use the delete button, the delete key, whereas I'm in the insert mode, or in the normal mode I can use lowercase x to delete one character at a time. But if I want to delete this entire line, I can use lowercase d, dd. I delete the entire line. If I want to delete just a portion of my text, I can use the visual mode, and I can, using the arrow keys, select the part of the text that I want to delete, and then I use the letter D for deleting. Okay, so I'm back into the normal mode, because I used the visual mode just for the selection of the text. Copy we consider yank on the VI. Visual mode, I select this part of the text and I want to copy that, paste. We use lowercase p. You see, it's not really that difficult to memorize some commands. So we're going to use D for delete, Y for yank, P for paste. If I want to copy this entire line, I can use Y, P. You see, I don't have to be inside the insert mode all the time. So, but I want to revert the changes that I did. I want to undo. I can use lowercase u to revert. I want to do it again, redo. This is a little different. Press Ctrl, the Ctrl key, and R for redo. And here we are, redoing things. I want to find the occurrences of a certain pattern into my file, so I want to use slash, the same thing that we use in unless. So there is a few similarities there. Slash, and I can put like port. You see, I'm typing and it's already finding this to me. Lowercase n to go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. I want to replace a pattern in my file for another pattern. I want to replace a phrase or a word. I can. This is the most complicated thing that's going to be seen in this video. We're doing a more complex task, not just finding something. We're finding something and we are replacing something. Think of the more complex is the action that I want to take, more likely it is that you're going to use the command mode to get that done. So I'm into the command mode with the column. I'm using percentage sign. That means that I want this across all the lines. Lowercase s to substitute, slash to find that piece of text. I want to replace everything that is port for fork. And then I want this to be global. I want to confirm every occurrence of the word port that I'm going to replace with fork. I want it to confirm with me if I'm sure I'm going to do this. You find the first one. Do you want to replace? Yes. I'm replacing it. Yes. No. All. I want to replace all. So you see, that's changed a lot of things. And those were the most common actions you're going to take where editing a file in the Linux system. VI does have so much to offer. Don't be intimidated. Take baby steps. This is the very basic of just taking a file for the first time and know how to deal with it. Before you try to reproduce what I just did into this video, go through Vim Tutor. This is a file that is going to teach you how to use Vim. Another thing that I recommend that you do to get familiar with VI, there's a little game called Vim Adventures. So that's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I see you guys tomorrow. Good studies.